all brand new to me because I was not around when this happened. I was not paying attention. So
That's all right,
I
baby.
man, I really liked the show. It was freaking awesome.
That's all
Super
right. These two
interesting.
guys down here, they gonna help you out. Oh, we live. Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans from every corner of the globe, man, it's time to crank the volume up. Let's crank it all the way up, man, because you have officially entered the danger zone. I'm talking about the Real to Sports Live Wire, the show where wrestling conversations hit harder than steel chairs. How corny is that? And every opinion is ready to step into the ring. That's corny too. My corny jokes. But tonight we're lighting the fuse on another episode, explosive episode. So grab your championship belts and all that good stuff, your WWE gear, your AEW gear, your TNA, whatever gear you got, man. But make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, man. Jump into the live chat because we about to run it up, man. Tonight, man, we're gonna talk about the dark side of the ring, the battle for TNA, the review, part 3, man. We're gonna talk about the biggest takeaways from and we're gonna add to the biggest takeaways from this documentary and the moments that stood out the most. The moment that stood out the most, man. The TNA legacy as a professional wrestling company, man. We want to hear from you guys out there in the live chat, man. Give us your favorite moments and your opinions throughout the show, and we will put it in here live, man. This is no scripts, no punches pulled, just passionate pro wrestling talk from people who love this business, man. So tighten those boots up, man. Let's ring that bell. Let's run this thing up right here on the Real to Sports Live Wire. All right, man, what's going on, pro wrestling fans? Welcome to another action-packed edition of the Real to Sports Live Wire, man. And this is our wrestling talk show, man. We appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us on this Tuesday night, wherever in the world you are watching us right now around the world. If you're a pro wrestling fan, this is the right place to be tonight on Tuesday. Y'all know y'all ain't got nothing to do. So come on in here and give us a look-see, man. Give us a look-see, man. This is the place where the promos are loud and the wrestling conversations are always championship caliber. So again, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell for all notifications. Jump in the live chat because here in the Real to Sports Podcast, your opinion counts. And tonight, man, we're stepping back into one of the most talked about wrestling documentaries around as we break down Dark Side of the Ring, the Battle of TNA, Part 3. And we got the opinions, and we might even ruffle a few feathers here. There you go. A few feathers, man. So let's get it going. Let's get it going, man. Let's get it going. Who's in the line? Oh, there she go. What's going on? The most loyalist Cleveland brand and the Browns.
I love that you are so loyal to your team.
Yes, she is loyal, bro.
It's awesome, dude.
I will listen, but I am old school wrestling. This is old school, so we'll say some names. We'll say some names that are probably I remember like that. So yeah. But anyway, 3 men right here. These 3 men right here is going to talk about the Battle of TNA, making his debut to the show. First time, man, on the wrestling show. Yes, sir. We got the Canadian Destroyer here. The Canadian Destroyer making his debut on some pro wrestling, man. Y'all already know he is supreme.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know what? It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. The chat's always off the hook. You know, I usually have a lot more takes and more opinions when it comes to my sports, but I'm here. I'm a student to learn from these guys. I did watch the episode, so I'm a hook. I can't wait for the next. I haven't wished this to wait for another like episode.
Yeah.
In like I don't even know how long, because I usually don't watch things. I let them pile up so I can binge watch them in a row.
Me too.
And now the host has got me hooked on the show. Now I gotta wait week to week for this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
That's how passionate this.
There you go.
There
you go.
I didn't watch it during this era, so it's all new to me, and I'm enjoying every moment. So
we glad,
it's
brother,
awesome to have you here, man.
I'm telling you, man. You're glad, brother. That TNA doing that. I mean, just dark side of the ring, man. It's like crack, man. You gotta have it each and every week, man.
Is that your first time watching Dark Side, like period, or
period? Yes, yeah.
Oh, dude, you got to go back to the older seasons, bro.
I am gonna go back actually. Yeah.
Oh man,
you just wait, bro. Wait till you see that Dusty Road. I ain't gonna tell it. I ain't gonna tell it, bro. I'm just gonna let you do your thing.
Brian Pillman,
all of it, bro. Magnum TA.
Crispin Wall.
Magnum TA. Yeah. Oh my God, bro!
I texted the host when the Magnum TA episode came out.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, me and Mark we were talking about. Yeah. I'm telling you, bro, you gonna love it. Y'all gonna love it too. Check it out. Check it out, man. I got him in the building. In the DMV. He resides in the DMV. That's the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. If you didn't know, he is the wrestling trivia champion himself. The man name is Rockstar Rock. He's in the building.
How y'all doing? Good evening. Sorry for the low energy. Just came home from work not too long ago.
He's tired, boss.
Had to rush. But other than that, we here to get y'all a good wrestling show tonight. Going over the topics of the dark side of the ring and rise and fall of TNA and some other good things that may come up. And live chat, let's hear from you.
Tell him.
Real to sports.
Tell him, baby. You guys should watch Foxfire. Is it about Dave Schultz? Oh, what you know about Dave Schultz? What you know about Dave Schultz, bro? I don't want to go there. That's a little bit too deep, Dave Schultz. Last but not least, man, we got the wrestling archive himself in the building. The very first wrestling trivia champion.
Greatest wrestling trivia champion.
Oh, he's very. Oh, yeah, I give him that. Yeah,
without a doubt, I'm the greatest wrestling trivia champion.
Yeah, I give him that. That is the most.
We got to get
that trivia was the most in Real to Sports history. The worst beatdown ever. But most importantly, he's the 2025 Real to Sports podcast MVP. We got the MVP in the building. It's Young Mark.
Hey man, speaking of wrestling trivia, I owe Rockstar Rock revenge because he stole my title in an unsanctioned match that should have never even happened in the first place. Like, how do you win a championship on a one-fall question in overtime after I've already won? But that's neither here nor there.
Mark's still hanging on that one.
Excited to talk some wrestling with my guys and get into this TNA era, man. It was great reliving my childhood, so I'm excited to get into it.
Yes, man.
So you feel a little bit like Bret Hart, eh? Just screwed out of your
right. You just like Bret Hart.
Yeah, Rock
do not let nothing go, bro.
Bret Hart, yes.
I love
Bret Hart does not let anything go, bro.
10 toes down, man.
Yeah, he don't, bro. He do not let nothing go.
Hey, you know the best thing about him?
Legend.
The best thing about him, host? He's a Raider fan.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't know this.
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
Bret Hart is a Raider fan, boy. He rocked that silver and black, baby.
Yeah, he don't let nothing go. But ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about TNA, the Battle of TNA episode. Can't even talk here. Part three, and we're gonna talk about that tonight. So again, man, go ahead and jump in the live chat. If you guys, I see you out there watching. We won't be for you long, man. We're just gonna talk about what happened. Broke this thing down into chapters here just for time's sake for the show. But chapter 1 was more of the rise of TNA and the beginning of the end, pretty much. And it was, the key points was Jeff Jarrett's vision for TNA, the big signing of Kurt Angle and how it elevated the company, the Karen Angle and Jeff Jarrett relationship, in the backstage controversy, and how personal issues begin to affecting the company behind the scenes. So I want to start this show off with the wrestling trivia champion himself. That man's name is Rockstar Rock. Rockstar Rock, man. So, the biggest thing with TA, the biggest star that, Jeff Jarrett signed was Kurt Angle. So my question to you, brother, was signing Kurt Angle the best move, do you think, in TNA history by signing him?
I say the best move that they made.
You good, bro? You good? We know we good.
Okay, so I would say yeah and no, because
what
at that time Kurt Angle was he was battling.
No, I'm kidding. I understand, Rock. You good, Rock? You good, bro?
All right, so I say yes and no.
Okay.
Reason I say yes because it did bring more eyes to the product, and he did put on some good matches.
Yes, sir.
And another reason I was and they had the main event Mafia, which he was a part of.
Bingo.
But the reason I would say no is because Kurt Angle at that time, he was battling through a lot of personal issues. He was he was on Percocets a lot during that time, and painkillers because he was dealing with the neck and back injuries nagging injuries that he had from surgeries. So I mean he still was a good performer. However, I felt like being at TNA was the only reason he was able to get away with doing so many Percocet, the perks and things of that nature, because it was a low independent company. It wasn't on the same surface as WWE at the time because WCW was gone, so it wasn't no.
You good, bro? You good? So, you just got to go over it.
So, other than that, I'm done.
You sound like Dominic Mysterio every time you try to talk. Woo! It's good, bro. It's good. You just gotta go over it. It's like that, bro. You might have to talk like Twister.
What you know about Twister?
I know about it.
I'm going to type in my responses.
Morse code. Let's do some plays. Call on Audible. Let me get me starting plays. Let me call some plays here. Hey, it's all good, bro. It's all good. We get where you go with that, though. Supreme. Come on, man. Give me your take. This is your first time watching. A little taste of Dark Side of the Ring, and I'm glad that you like
Mhm.
it. And you know, I know you said that you didn't really know about TNA and stuff. So give me, for what you've seen on Dark Side, give me your take on what do you like and what do you didn't like.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I'd stopped watching wrestling by that point. I was, in my late teens, early 20s. And when you're a young man like that, you're just chasing tail and not
Yes, sir.
focusing on wrestling as much as you once were, right?
Well, what you
So
talking about?
I knew of TNA and I knew that was going up, but I had already been so far removed from it, so I
Yeah,
didn't know what happened. From what I've watched so far, these first three,
that's true.
I think it, like, without knowing what's going to happen next. I haven't seen the whole season, so I don't know how it actually turns out. If there's any signings in the
Hmm.
future that
Hmm.
you know could rival that signing, but the way that they've laid it out, it
Hmm.
seems like without Kurt Angle, they were a ticking time bomb, and
Yeah.
they if they didn't sign a big name like that, they may have folded, right?
Hmm.
So it was like it reminds me of Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner for the UFC. They
There
were
Mm,
you
on the
go.
verge
good
of like
point.
losing their company,
Yeah.
and it took a fight on Spike TV of
Hmm.
those guys just beating the hell out of each other,
Exactly.
where in an era where we didn't have social media and stuff and people were just literally calling each other up like, "Yo, are you watching what's going
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Spike
yeah,
right
yeah,
now?"
yeah. Exactly.
And it was so viral for that time that
Hmm.
the viewership went from like at like very low to just like insane ratings and numbers, right? So from
Hmm.
that moment on, the UFC became what it became, and look what it is now, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So is TNA, let me know, are they still around? Are they still doing
Yes,
their thing?
yes, they
Or
are.
Yeah,
okay, cool, cool,
Yes,
cool.
they
it's
are.
not the same
So
company, but the name's still
not
around.
Yeah.
so it's the same, yeah. So the name, the business is still around, even though it's
Yes,
new owners, just like the UFC is now under new ownership from that
yep.
era, right? But
That's true. That's true.
if it wasn't for that, the signing of Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle is a phenomenal athlete. You
Yes, he
cannot
is.
take anything away from him. He was never my cup of tea when he was in WWF at the time.
Hmm.
Um, but
True.
you
That's
have to
true.
respect him.
Yep.
Break his neck in the Olympics, and he still wins a gold medal. And
Yeah.
he was always there.
Yes.
Whenever you needed him in the WWE, he was there.
He was
Like, he
there.
never failed. And
Yep.
then when I saw in the documentary, the man put his freaking body on the line. You
Yeah, he did.
like the one guy said, I forget his name. He's like, man, after every single show, you
Oh,
go to
Jim
the back
Cornette.
and you would see Kurt Angle with literally ice on everything,
Yeah.
looking like a broken mess of
Yeah.
a human. And the
Yes.
next night, he was out there as if nothing happened. Like,
Yeah.
that kind of dedication, that kind of
Yeah.
um drive from an athlete, even though he was going through a lot of stuff, right? He had
Yeah.
split up with Karen. He
Hmm.
was, you know, doing a bunch of painkillers and whatnot. He was struggling in life.
Hmm. Hmm.
He probably, you know what? He needed TNA as much as they needed him,
Yeah.
because he had just gotten released from the WWF,
Hmm.
and so if he didn't get that job, he may have spiraled, and you may have found him in a hotel room or in his
Yeah.
bedroom OD'd. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
That's very
he
true.
made his life as much as he put that franchise or that organization on the map. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna say yes, because I don't know enough of the future, but
Hmm.
I think if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have gotten to where they are now. So I say it is the best signing.
It is. It is. So, Mr. MVP, Mr. MVP here. First of all, this is a two-part, because I want you to hit on the Karen Angle and Jeff Jarrett relationship backstage, and what you've seen from the documentary. Give me your take on it, and just give me your take on just the whole of the basically the chapter one on everything. But I really want to hear from you about this Karen Angle and how it just screwed up made a lot of controversy in the back with the talent.
Okay. I had the pleasure of living through this. Like, I was tuned into TNA live when all this stuff was going on in the
Mhm.
late 2000s. So
Mhm.
this was literally like this to me is what WCW and the Attitude Era is to like Rockstar Rock and Host and Supreme. So this is right up my alley. Having said that, I disagree with Rock and Supreme on what they said about Kurt Angle. I don't think he was the biggest signing in that company's history. I'll get to that in a second. But to answer your question, Host, about that storyline, no joke, right-handed guide, I thought that storyline was real when I was a kid. Like I legit to this, like literally up until the Dark Side of the Ring documentary, when she came out and said what she said, I genuinely like low-key had some shade towards Jeff Jarrett because I genuinely thought he took Kurt Angle's wife in a nefarious way. So I didn't rock with him for a couple of years because they got me hooked. Wrestling is about making the people believe, and they made me believe when I was growing up because of the way it was portrayed on TV, the personal shots that were said. Like you didn't know if it was a wrestling promo or a shoot, as Paul Heyman likes to say.
Yeah.
So that was living that in real time. That was literally like
real to you.
In terms of storyline, that genuinely might be the greatest storyline that TNA
I agree.
did.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that.
That was definitely must-see TV. I just hate that it happened during an era when they got completely overshadowed by WWE. We'll get to that in a second too, but definitely that was actually no. I take that back. I take back what I said. At the time, that was the greatest storyline in that company's history. It's since been outdone by Matt Hardy and the Broken Universe. The Hardy's Broken storyline and that whole universe. Yeah. Now that has since surpassed the Angle storyline, but at the time, for sure, that was like the biggest story going on in anywhere in professional wrestling, even in WWE. They didn't have a storyline as captivating as that one going on at the time.
So you know, with the I was with you. It was so real, and to be honest with you, this is the first time we ever heard from Karen Angle.
Yeah,
this is the first time, and man, she's freaking hot.
If Jarrett's a lucky man.
Yeah, he found that place.
Yeah. What? Nah, okay, my wife ain't here. But yeah, and she know, but Karen Angle's hot. I was like, whoa. At her age too. I'm like, whoa. Oh, Jeffrey. Whoa. But you know, for what it's both, when she was talking about it, and she didn't want to be on TV, and just going through that whole situation. You know, Kurt was on drugs and and stuff like that. I mean, with the perks, and I wouldn't say he's on drugs, or he's just taking a lot of painkillers or whatever, and got addicted to it and stuff, man. And just how good was it, y'all, to see D'Lo Brown, bro? How good was it to see D'Lo Brown? And I think you better recognize
the way that episode ended. Not good. If I gotta be honest with the way that
he beat up Ahmed Johnson, right?
Yeah, he did.
I see that.
He hurt Draws. He put Draws in the wheelchair.
D'Lo Brown did.
D'Lo Brown was he was over as hell in the Attitude Era.
Did he put him in the hospital with that running
D'Lo and Bubba and Spike?
Yeah, he did.
With the Liger bomb, right?
Yeah, he sure did.
He landed on his neck.
You got to tuck his chin. You got to tuck your chin when you take moves like that. Yeah, you got to tuck that chin, bro.
Straight out. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. It was good to see D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown was a producer of matches for TNA, and it was good to see D'Lo Brown. I was wondering where he was at, and but yeah, that Karen Angle thing when the way. Well, matter of fact, let's go to chapter 2, because chapter 2 is going to really set it off here, because we're going to talk about Dixie Carter's leadership and her creative direction. So we going through the show, man, we see numerous TNA talent talk about Dixie and how she was. Now, we don't get to see this as fans because, it's Dixie Carter, sweet Southern belle, good-looking woman, We didn't see the power or her ego or anything like that. We may see glimpse of it on TV, but behind the scenes we did not see that. So I'm gonna go back to Rockstar Rock, man, and you talk about Dixie and her power and how she really did Jeff Jarrett, man, which was like just really wrong. She really turned his life upside down and inside out.
Well, I mean, she was the breadwinner of the other company. she she put all her she invested a lot of money behind Jeff Jarrett, so I can understand why she you know turned his life upside down or whatnot as him being the owner of TNA. But at the same time, that's when they really kind of fell off. Like once she started taking over the company, Dixie Carter started taking over. They only had a few good bright spots as far as the company go. I think
Yeah.
that's when they had the group with Bully Ray.
Yeah, Aces.
Aces of
Ray,
Eights. Aces of
Aces of
Eight.
Eight.
Yeah.
They really that's when they took off. I know that's when a lot of the older guys like Kevin Nash and Sting and all of them were kind of still around, but they were weeding those guys out. I will say the one thing I will like say is that during that time, Christian Cage
Christian
really got a
Cage.
big push as
Smoke and Talk.
yeah,
What up,
he
Smoke
really
and
got
Talk? What up, bro? Appreciate you.
What's going
Appreciate
on?
you, Smoke and Talk. Smoke and Talk is in the building. Go ahead, Rock.
he got a big push at TNA, so I would say that's one of some of the bright spots.
Yeah.
The worst spot I would say is the Jeff Hardy situation
Oh.
with when he fought Sting. I believe Eric Bischoff was
Victory Road 11.
yeah,
2011.
Eric Bischoff was around the company at that time, but I believe Dixie was still the mastermind behind the scenes or the individual that was bringing in the talent per se at the time. And oh yeah, when they had Hogan during their time too, that was like the worst time ever. But that Jeff Hardy situation was a real bad look because not only was he putting himself in danger to where as though they could have had another situation, got Albert Owen Hart, but in a different situation where as though he was fully all the way up in the air. Jeff Hardy takes a lot of high risk moves. Him being that inebriated trying to take high risk moves, he could have fell off of the top rope, hit his head on a steel steps or something, and anything could have happened. So I will say good thing Sting recognized it. Him being a professional, he recognized that his opponent or dance partner per se in the ring was inebriated. So I will say that's one thing about it's good to always have professionals, even veteran professionals in a young up and coming company like TNA was. And now they owned by I believe TNA is owned by WWE, right?
Yes, sir. Part of it.
So a lot of their
Not owned,
a lot of
partnership.
okay. A lot of they about to sign Santana. I know that back to once his contract up with TNA, he going to WWE. So they more like a farm system for WWE if you want to say a partnership. But it goes hand in hand though. Dolph Ziggler left WWE, went to TNA, was the champion there.
He's still champion now.
Cedric Alexander is still doing great things. In TNA. So a lot of guys who end up leaving WWE, whether they were fired or didn't get a good push, they made their name in TNA. And I will say that was one of the good things about TNA at the time was that we didn't have WCW. ROH at the time, you really had to go somewhere and find DVDs of ROH because that's when they were just up and coming.
Yeah, I remember my DVDs. That's facts.
Yeah, you had to get a collection of DVDs for ROH TV until they actually started coming on TV. And it's funny, the first time I watched ROH, was down there in Greensboro when it was coming on Saturday night.
Yeah,
and
that's when
Sunday night.
Daniel Bryan was there, the American Dragon and all that.
Yeah. One of the best matches I watched was the Briscoes versus was it the Kingdom, I think, at the time.
I remember. I know you talking about. Yeah, with Lethal. What's up, Philly G? Philly G.
But other than that,
let me ask you this though, Rock, because you while you on that subject, do you think was TNA relying too heavily on former WWE talent?
Yes.
Okay.
They was, because it got to the point where old WWE / WCW talent was taken away from the young guys. Like I used to watch TNA just to watch the X Division.
What are you talking about?
To see the X Division matches.
Take my money.
Once some of the guys that were in the X Division got moved up to the heavyweight division in the TNA, rankings and whatnot, they kind of, outside of AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, that really got a big push that were in the X Division. But I will say that, them hiring a lot of WWE guys did take away from the young guys that they could have pushed in the future, or like how now they're giving those young guys that push. Whereas though, like you wouldn't have seen Cedric Alexander hold the title in TNA back when all of the old WWE guys were there. They would have buried him like they did they did the guys in WCW, the cruiserweight division. They didn't want to bring Eddie and Chris Jericho and Benoit and them guys up that were small heavyweights, but they can go in the heavyweight division and they can draw money. They didn't want to give them that push.
Right.
So, you seen what happened with their careers. They took off when they left. And I just feel like if TNA would have stuck to what made them TNA, which was that the X Division, and that they had great young talent that they were getting from the other independent circuit, I think they would have they'd have been good. But once you bring in those guys that you got controlling the booking, controlling the finishes, like you said, Jeff Jarrett had to make himself the champion a few times.
Yes, sir.
Because he didn't trust his champion. He either had the belt or it was him and Sting that was the TNA World Heavyweight.
You ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. That was one thing that was pissing me off watching it, man, because I was like, damn, man, goddamn, Jarrett, he always booked himself, and he was a heel, of course, but he was just a sneaky ass heel, and he always had Southern Justice to come down and help him out every single goddamn match. But I understand now. I understand a bit, And back then, as a fan, you watch, I'm like, God damn, don't lose that damn belt, man. But I see, because like you said, that was just Jeff Baby. So I mean,
but they best character of all time. I would say this: if it wasn't for TNA, we wouldn't have got guys like Abyss, and we wouldn't have got the real R-Truth. Not this R-Truth that we see in WWE making a clown out of himself. He draw money, so that's what he wants to do. I'm talking about Ron the Truth Killings.
Yes, sir.
Did you see that promo he had against what was it, Montez Corvon, I believe? The promo
Marcus
he
Corvon.
had.
Yeah.
The alpha male. He
said, that match against Ken Shamrock. Him and Ken Shamrock for the NWA title. That was, I'll take my money.
I'm the reason that these black wrestlers need to wake up. I was like,
that was a different R-Truth right
bro.
There. He was. Yeah, he went with the none. He was. Was he Ron Killings or K Quick?
Yeah, he was Ron Killings then.
Then
he went. He was Ron the Truth Killings.
Yeah, he went K Quick when he went Road Dogg. That was garbage. But so I am the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I am Ron Killings. You better tell him, Philly G. You better tell him. So Supreme, was Dixie Carter in over her head as president?
the way that they laid it out, it looked like it, man.
Gosh,
She
she was
just
a
looked
total
like
bitch. Like,
she definitely made a lot of mistakes. I
yeah.
get it, you know, like when you're, you know, you get some your family to pay your way for a lot of things. There's a lot of pressure on you.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate for sure. Um, and so there's always this kind of like thing in the back of your mind, at least for, you know, for me, it's like, um, is everything that I'm doing because of my name or my affluent family members, or is it based on my merit? And
Mm-hmm.
so you always want to prove yourself and do something. And she
Mm-hmm.
was swinging for the fences there, man. And she
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
really wanted to be the one in control and whatnot. And so, and just prove that it was her, it wasn't Jeff. So, like, I think that that mindset, and then just having no real experience before that,
Yeah.
really was a problem
Yeah. It's always
for him.
the rich.
And I didn't know a thing about her before this, and I don't like her. Okay,
Yeah, me neither, bro.
after these episodes, I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
seeing these episodes, and I'm like, I don't like this broad at all.
Yeah, me
I
neither,
I
man.
just
Me neither, bro.
the way that
I
she's
can't fool
handled
with Dixie,
things, I'm
bro.
just like, man, screw
You
this.
ought to watch the show. It's like you didn't like Dixie either because it was just I don't know, just so she played a good character. She played that that president, that authority, like kind of like Stephanie McMahon in a way. Like I hated Stephanie McMahon when she was with the authority. I hated when she was with Triple H because she was too far into the character and she downplayed the talent. And she's Stephanie McMahon, like they never booked her. Like that's one thing to be an authority heel, but she never got any repercussions. Like nobody, like Vince. Vince was the chairman, and he was a tariff in World Wrestling Federation against Stone Cold, but Stone Cold always figure out something to get him back.
Yeah.
Stephanie, nobody did not touch Stephanie, bro. Nobody, you couldn't. She smacked people's face and all that good stuff, but it was never no consequence behind it. So MVP, 2-part question. MVP, was abandoning the 6-sided ring a mistake, and did Hulk Hogan and Bischoff help or hurt TNA?
Without a question, both of those things are negatives that hurt the company because the 6-sided ring was their identity in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, wrestlers have come out and said that they didn't like taking bumps on it, but at the time, that was something that visually helped TNA stand out from WWE because instantly, as soon as you like turn on the TV, you're like, that's different. That's not like what's going on in the other place or pretty much anywhere else you would ever seen in America. Unless you were a AAA fan watching Mexican wrestling, you didn't know about a hexagon ring until you watched TNA. So them getting rid of it sucked. And I think the same thing that ruined Dixie Carter is the same thing that kind of ruined Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan when they were running the companies. Like, you have to know your product and you have to know your audience. They knew neither. Right. Dixie crashed and burned hard because she was not a wrestling fan. She had no experience at all in the wrestling world or in the wrestling business. You have to have some level of experience, either being a fan of wrestling or working in the industry in order to run a wrestling company. That's just a fact. You can be somebody smart as Eric Bischoff with Ted Turner's wallet, but if you're not a lifelong wrestling fan or somebody who grew up in the business, you don't know when what's working, what's not working, or when it's time to turn the page on something when it's not.
Absolutely.
But especially Hulk Hogan. Like, Hulk Hogan did not know, excuse my language, Hulk Hogan did not know shit about TNA. And it was very obvious the first moment he appeared on TV, him and Eric Bischoff. Like, the fans were telling you what they wanted very loud and clear. We want 6 sides. But you're so ignorant, you think you know better than your audience and your fans. Like, what do those fans know? It's the 6-sided ring is stupid. It doesn't do anything for the matches. Like, let's get rid of it.
Right.
Listen to your people. If your people are telling you what they want, You have to listen to your audience. You don't know better than the audience, because the audience are the reason why the lights are on and why people are tuning in. And it really sucks. And me and my friend, we watched all 3 episodes together, my bro Groovy, and we both walked away saying the same thing. This is the first time in either of our lives where like we actually looked at Vince Russo and said, hey, yo, I actually kind of agree with him. I actually kind of understand what he was saying. Like Vince Russo was actually the baby face for, I think, the first time ever in all this, because he caught a lot of unnecessary flack and was being blamed for stuff that had nothing to do with him at all. So yeah, Bischoff and Hogan coming in was definitely a sign that like things are not the same. This wasn't the TNA that you had come to know and love. And getting rid of the 6-sided ring was definitely one of the more stupid moves that they could have done at the time, especially where they were when those changes were made. They were seriously like on the up and up. Like they were profitable. The viewership was way up. And they were making a lot of noise to where people were legitimately saying like, yo, I'm leaving WWE for a while. I'm going to go watch TNA full time because they're actually giving me what I want. Tag team wrestling was awesome. Women's wrestling was amazing. The world title scene was constantly evolving. You had constantly new challengers and great people that they were picking as champion. Like, it was just great wrestling until Dixie, Hogan, and Bischoff got involved and just sent everything to hell.
I'm gonna ask y'all one more, and great response. That's why I got to ask y'all again. Let's go back around again before I go to the next champ, because I now y'all got my head spinning here. Now I'm gonna go back to Rock real quick. Rock, give me Vince Russo was over creative. Him and Ed Ferrara, they both wrote TNA wrestling, the show. Both head writers. So let's talk about Vince Russo's influence on creative and some of the good things or bad things that he done in TNA.
I really wasn't. I'm gonna be honest with you, host. I'm not gonna hold you. I stopped watching TNA around the time Vince Russo was behind the scenes, because that was a little bit around the time. That was like right after, if I'm not mistaken, that was right after Hogan and Bischoff was there, right? They broke this. It was before.
Russo had been there from jump. Yeah, Russo was there when they were still doing weekly pay-per-views, because he
2002.
He had a faction called Sex.
So yeah, but he was behind the scenes more back then, though, right?
Yes, sir.
He didn't start coming on camera until later in the
after Jeff got back.
He was always on camera. He like literally like I remember when they were in the asylum, he was cutting a promo for his group. I can't remember what Sex stood for. I just remember it was SEX. That was the acronym.
SEX, yeah. I remember that.
He was in the ring like.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
with Frank Shamrock. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Frank Shamrock. I didn't know that. What's up, Chelsea? What's going on, Chelsea? What's going on?
Well,
Chelsea.
I would say.
So let me try to refresh your memory.
The best thing I would probably say is Main Event Mafia. That's the best thing.
That's the best thing. It is the best thing. That is the best thing.
Because letting Booker T call his own a match while he was in the ring. That was one of the most classic things. Booker T, you want to do the kick? Booker T with the chop to the face.
You know the dumbest thing Vince Russo ever did in TNA was that goddamn, sorry, Supreme, reverse battle royal. That joint was the dumbest. I said, what? A reverse? Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
that was his idea.
That joint was the worst, bro. I was like, so what it was you have to fight to get in the ring. Now, a Royal Rumble is, you throwing your opponent over the top rope out to the outside. But this right here, you got to fight to get inside the ring. The last person inside the ring wins. It was crazy. But the thing, since we on Vince Russo, is some of the stuff in this documentary, I definitely agree with him. And I think Vince Russo was actually telling the truth on a lot of things, and he's known to be a big liar, and you know, and to pat himself on the back and stuff like that. But I really believe that his story was true. How he's saying that Dixie came in and she destroyed everything, bro. She came in like a bolt of lightning and did not speak to anybody. Like yo, I think I'm on Vince Russo's side on this situation here. So Ken Shamrock was it? Yes, was Bare Knuckle. That's another guy that the World Wrestling Federation, Vince. He should have been World Wrestling Federation champion. He's the world's most dangerous. He's booked as the world's most dangerous man in the WWF, and all he boiled down to was the Intercontinental title. But he goes over to TNA and became the NWA champion.
That was Vince's fatal flaw.
Yep,
for
that was,
as much of a genius as he was, if you did not come from his ecosystem, he didn't know anything about you.
Exactly.
He didn't know what fans liked about you. He didn't know what they didn't like about you. Only thing he saw was like a piece of moldable clay that he could try to mold into whatever character he wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. Philly G said, I have a question after this segment. Sure, go ahead. Shoot it out, Philly G. And while Philly G coming with that question, let's talk about really fast. I want to add this in here. And I know Mark can hit on it. I know Mark is going to hit on it. The Awesome Kong, man, who was one of the most dominant TNA knockout ever in TNA history. I mean, this woman was the Brock Lesnar of the knockouts in TNA. And Awesome Kong, she was speaking about her underpaid and how Dixie really treated her and treated the knockouts. So yeah, that was really heartbreaking to see, because I was a big Awesome Kong fan, and that was really heartbreaking to see that this woman who put a lot into that character to get treated that way. But that's a free for all. You guys want to hit at that?
Yeah, I would say that absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
Because TNA was doing women's wrestling before it was cool in America.
Yeah.
Before TNA, you had to go to Japan to see a really good women's match.
Yeah.
Host hit the nail on the head. Like Awesome Kong was like a mix between Brock Lesnar and 06 Mark Henry, but she was doing it in the women's division. You know what I mean? Like her and Gail Kim tore the house down.
Yes,
Daphne was psychotic. May she rest in peace. But she would take the craziest bumps. Like, what women do you know are doing monster ball matches? You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Shout out to the knockouts division, but I think it sucks that and I'm not trying to read too much into this to be controversial, but I think it really sucks that Dixie often faced misogyny and people like kind of looking at her sideways a little bit because she was a woman in a male-dominated industry.
Absolutely.
So you would think, having had that experience in your own boardroom, in your own company, if there's any division that you would feel attached to or want to make sure is represented or well paid or has like an equal seat at the table, it would be your women's division. But sadly, that wasn't the case.
I agree.
But I think
that she was in over her head.
Definitely agree with you on that. But I think above all else, though, and I'll say this, like, not to spoil anything for Supreme, but literally TNA during that era, their women's division is still talked about in very high regard.
Oh, hell yeah.
In my humble opinion, no other wrestling company on planet Earth, not WWE, not AEW, not even New Japan, has been able to replicate the success that TNA have the knockouts.
You ain't kidding. Oh boy, yeah.
They knew how to run a women's world championship, that women's tag titles. In the late 2000s, like
the beautiful people. Oh hell yeah.
You had a variety of characters. You had a variety of matches. Like, even when Dixie took over and everything else went to crap, the knockouts division was still hella good. That was the one consistent thing keeping them going, even to this day.
Yeah, I agree.
So shout out to them.
Chelsea agreed with you too, Mark.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, Chelsea agreed with you too. It's Al Snow. What's happening, baby? What's happening? Welcome to the show. He said Kong and D'Lo probably was the most honest out of everyone. Yes, they were.
And what they have in common, Al Snow.
They're awesome.
What they have in common, bro.
Exactly.
There you go, Rock.
Facts. There you go.
We're gonna tell it like it is,
Yeah,
boy.
tell it like
That's
it
what
is,
Booker
bro.
T.
Yeah, tell it like it
Booker T
is
might
because
sugarcoat
man, it hurt it so bad to see her. She's saying that she get paid just like a manager at McDonald's. I'm like,
Yeah, that was rough.
this woman was a beast. Like Awesome Kong, like she went like undefeated for damn near a year. Like she. I mean, I know wrestling is scripted and all that, man, but what she put into that character. Let me go Vince Russo. What she put in that character, you gotta understand. Awesome Kong was Awesome Kong. She was the most feared woman in TNA. Like she was, bro. I was a fan, bro. I was a fan. And I was like, oh my God, Dixie. You are
They did her dirty.
total.
They did a bunch. And the evidence of like her, the way that she treated her homegrown talent. When they switched to just focusing on all the ex-WWE guys coming in, gals and whatnot, and then she just threw them under the bus. The guys that basically made it so you had the ability to bring all these WWE guys and you're not paying them.
Yeah,
it's such a slap in the face.
It is, man.
It makes me mad.
It is, man. Philly G.
Fired up.
Hell yeah, man.
This was ridiculous.
I'm about to get a comeback. Philly G's question. He said, "Who do y'all feel was underrated in TNA? It could be male or female. For me, it was my guy Supermex Hernandez. I remember him.
I would say
that's his dude.
I would say the person that I felt was underrated in TNA will have to be my man Xavier Woods, man.
Oh, Creed? When he was Creed?
When Creed, he was a little underrated. That woo off with him and him and Ric Flair.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Creed or Jay Lethal?
Lethal.
Jay Lethal, Jay Lethal, yeah.
Oh, Machismo when he did the Macho Man joint.
Yeah, he did do the Macho Man too. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. Jay Lethal was underrated in TNA.
Oh hell yeah, of course.
He made up for it in ROH and going over to New Japan and whatnot, but he was very underrated in TNA. Jay Lethal and what was it? Was it Homicide?
Homicide.
The one with the mask, because there is an actual wrestler named Homicide.
Yeah.
You talking about the mask dude, right? With the skull mask?
Yeah.
That was Suicide.
Suicide. I'm talking about Homicide, the one with the chain.
Yeah, Homicide is a Latino that was in LAX.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Homicide.
Okay. Yeah, dude was crazy.
Okay.
He was hella
I
crazy.
wasn't talking about Suicide. Suicide ended up. Then they did a TNA video game off.
He was literally the character from the video game. Yeah.
Casey is Raw Gaming and Wrestling. Welcome to the show. We got some newcomers coming in here, man. It's good, man. Ultimately, the 3-parter was the redemption of the story of Jeff Jarrett with TNA wrestling sprinkled into it. That's true. That's true.
Yep.
I kind of want more dirt of TNA on Dark Side. I do too, bro.
Can I speak on that real quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, following like the creators of the show on social media, the two dudes who made the show said they wanted to do a whole 6-part documentary, like how they did Who Killed WCW. Yeah. They were going to do a whole 6-part documentary on TNA, but Vice didn't want it. The TV channel turned it down. We literally almost got a full 6-episode deep dive into this, but Vice didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
so that's how we ended up getting.
I agree with Casey. I believe there's more to this TNA, and I think it rating wise, they will blow it out of the casket if they can go just dive into it a little bit further. Because I want to, watching TNA, you never knew this shit. Like I'm watching, I'm like, damn, I never knew, because TNA wasn't really on the map like that. But I know I watched it, especially when it hit Spike TV, and I know I was all into it, and I was into it day one when they used to come out of the tunnel, and
man.
I mean Jesus, but just looking at it now, it's like that's why I was telling Supreme back when we was backstage before the show, man. I love documentaries, man, because man, especially Dark Side, because they tell the best stories, man. I mean, God, and shout out to Chris Jericho, man. Jericho is a great narrator. Like he is, he really is. And Jim Cornette shits on him, but sorry, Supreme. But but Jericho is he's great. He's great. Jericho is great. Chelsea says she got the short end of the deal. That's for sure. They made money off her, and to get paid, that's true, Chelsea.
Amen.
That is true. That is true, Chelsea. Philly G said Hernandez could have been the Cena of TNA, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I think they already had a Cena, bro.
Yeah.
I think AJ.
I see what Philly G going at it. Yeah, I see.
He's close.
But Hernandez was over his mother. He was over as hell.
Human real life though, but
yeah, he was super over. I enjoy.
If Philly G would have replaced him with Batista, he would have had money. If he would have said Hernandez would have been the Batista of TNA, that would have been spot on money.
Listen to what Rob comment. What I'm about to put on her, and she is so freaking right. All you need is to get Dutch. He can talk about all this stuff. Dutch Mantel will tell it all, bro.
Mm-hmm. If Dutch was on
never
been on there,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he wasn't on in these first
Dutch would tell it, bro. Dutch and I don't think Darkside can handle it. Dutch would tell it.
The only thing I've seen Dutch Mantel on from them was Tales from the Territories, but I don't think I've ever seen him on any of the other like Dark Side episodes.
No, I never seen him on Dark Side.
He was on Tales of the Territories though.
But, man, Dutch would tell it, bro.
Yeah,
he would. Yeah, I agree with that. God Almighty. And those you know who Dutch Mantel, one of the greatest bookers in professional wrestling history, man. Damn. Boy, you hit a home run with that one there. You hit a home run with that. Dutch was there from the beginning. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was, man. Dutch was a mother. I remember Dutch back in the day with Jerry the King Lawler back in Memphis wrestling. Now that's another guy that booked his shit. Like he never lost, just about. In USWA, Jerry Lawler, man, let me tell you something. I stayed in Alabama, bro. Roll Tide. But when I stayed in Alabama, man, let me tell you something. It was Continental Wrestling. Because every time JYD was on, man, oh man, I was glued to the TV. Loved JYD, and I loved Bruiser Brody. There you go. Bruiser Brody was Philly G, right? Yeah. He has a podcast. Well, I'm trying to keep up with everybody. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, Jerry Lawler, man, USWA came on. It came on late though, and man, I remember that, man. But Jerry Lawler was the loved guy. He was one of the most loved. But him and Dutch used to go at it, bro. Him and Dutch used to go at it. I didn't know that. Who was Brody? The inspiration behind Lee Turner. Oh, I got you, Philly G. Yeah, Brody, man, bro. I got to see Brody a little bit. I did see that crazy joint with him and Butcher. Jesus Christ, that was
him and Abdullah Butcher.
Yeah, him and Butcher. Yeah, they people were scared, bro. I remember watching on TV. Hell yeah, and me and my mom used to watch wrestling, and my mom loved the Von Erichs. My mom loved she loved the Von Erichs. My mama, hey, real quick, man. My mama we used to watch wrestling, and soon because it was always the Freebirds. Every goddamn Saturday night, it was the Freebirds. That was one world class wrestling was. It was every week. It was the same feud, but it was so entertaining. It was the Freebirds and the Von Erichs, and man, my mama used to go crazy when Kerry Von Erich, he be reaching, and boy, he get that hot tag. My mama be like, "Get him, get him." My mama be like, "Get him." That was good thing seeing my mama do that stuff. But anyway, yeah, that hot tag, man. That whatever. But that was good stuff back then. Okay, don't forget Coco Beware. Oh my God. Memphis Wrestling, Coco. I like Memphis Coco. Vince made him a jobber. Yeah. Vince made him a jobber, bro. That damn bull whip. Okay. He's starting to swing that chain, yo. Facts. Facts, bro.
Oh, you talking about Bruiser Brody?
Brody, yeah. He swing that goddamn chain. Hef. 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 He crazy. That dude crazy, bro. What's up, Sam Wilkes?
Yeah, I subscribe to his
okay.
I subscribe to his
Did you hear Rockstar Rock, Sam Will?
To his channel.
Yeah, man. Rockstar Rock gave you, show you some love out there, Sam Will. Subscribe, man.
On Saturday, right after he
was
saying it on the show.
Yeah. Well, let's run through this, man, because I knew there was gonna be chapter 3 here when the collapse of TNA and what happened was, like Rockstar Rock mentioned earlier, you know, Jeff Hardy versus Sting, Victory Road 2011. Jeff Hardy struggling with his addiction because Jeff Hardy had just came into the company from WWE, of course, him and his brother. Declining ratings and financial problems, fan frustration with the direction of the company. So, Supreme. Could Jeff Hardy been protected differently? Would you? I mean, because they sent him out even though he was. See, just because of you, I was about to say something. Just because he was upped up, but yeah, but you said. I mean, could Jeff Hardy been more protected? Could he get protected differently, Jeff Hardy? Or
yeah,
what would you done if he, you know that he's out of it and he's in a main event world title match against one of the greatest superstars of all time, Sting? Like what would you would have done?
Yeah, it's I don't know what I would have done. I'm not gonna lie. I would have definitely. It's so hard because like if you know that he's that messed up going in, it's like you can't just like flip the script and change the fight. You know what I mean? People have been waiting and pay-per-views have been sold, so it's like you're kind of screwed, right? But I think I know that it's because I don't know what I would have been done. I think I know one guy that would have been able to figure it out. I think that would have been Jeff Jarrett. You know, he dealt with it. You know, he dealt with addiction and some tough times. And one thing that stood out for me when during the whole Karen thing was the first conversation that he had with Karen. He read scripture to her. Mm-hmm. So he's clearly a God-fearing man, and I think his compassion and him would have known what to do. So, but Dixie he wasn't around to be able to do anything about it, right? So it's hard to say. You can't just pull him out and before the fight and just put him in rehab and just do the best for him and take care of him. Like, what do? You sub in somebody that, because you're just screwed if you do, you're screwed if you don't. But I feel like Jeff Jarrett may have been able to figure something out to make it right. Yeah. As long as Dutch was there by his side, they would have figured something out that may not have been as bad as that. Jeez. That's my best answer.
What would you would have done, Mark?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Toast. As one half of the creative team behind Dynamic Championship Wrestling, let me get to work real quick. All right, so behind the scenes, behind the scenes, I would have done an angle where basically I'm writing Jeff Hardy out, like somebody's going to attack him backstage or writing him off television. He's injured. He can't defend the title tonight. We're going to do something else. Yeah, I'm sending him to rehab, and I'm getting him right because what you have is this can go from negative to really positive for you, both personally and professionally. Yeah. You can go and get help. You can get clean, and you can come back and be the biggest baby face this company has ever seen.
Absolutely.
Jeff Hardy was literally the most over wrestler there was in the late 2000s and early 2010s. I don't care what nobody say. Even to this day, that man is still over and beloved by fans. Yeah. You write him on TV, get him help, He comes back as a babyface trying to reclaim his title.
Yeah.
On the flip side, from an in-ring perspective, I'm taking my hottest young heel, whether that's a Bobby Roode getting out on his first singles run,
Holy smoke! I forgot about
newly
that.
emerging Bully Ray, whether that's somebody else. I'm going to use this moment instead of screwing myself. I'm going to create the biggest heel that I can in this company and let him get a run with the title until Jeff gets back to take it from him. You can easily have him go on a 60-day run. That's normally how long rehab stints are, I believe. Jeff is gone for 60 days, come back, win the title. Everybody's happy.
I agree with Mark, bro. I agree with Mark. That is, I know, bro. Mark, you should. Oh my God! If I had a time machine, bro, you could have. Oh, that would have been better.
I started remembering when Eddie came back after and he faced Brock.
Yeah.
You know, similar situation, right? You turned him into a babyface and have him come back and redeem himself, right? After everything. That's a great answer, Mark.
That is a great answer.
Gave me an idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
Instead of the heel that I would, because Rock said something earlier and it jogged my memory. They effed the character up when Hulk Hogan got involved, but this would have been a perfect way to relaunch him and get him back to what he was. It's a shame Abyss never had a world title run, and that would have been the perfect launching pad to get one. That could have been your heel to believably take out Jeff Hardy and then go on a monster heel.
Oh my God, take my money. Yeah, where's my wallet?
Yeah, there you go.
Take it. Oh my God. Yes.
Because not too long before that, he had just taken out Rob Van Dam with Janice. So that actually would have made a lot of sense for him.
Rob Van Dam was there. That was true. Rob
RVD,
Van Dam.
man, I forgot about him.
The whole show. Yeah, I remember that. Bro, Abyss never had the world title.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. And he had some of the only monster ball matches. But I'm not a fan of hardcore wrestling, but Monster Ball was entertaining because of Abyss.
I saw Abyss do.
I thought you was gonna say because of Holly Berry.
Because who?
I thought you was gonna say because of Holly Berry.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
Huh? Hey, boy, those Monster Ball matches off the chain, bro. I agree with that. Abyss, God, man, what great talent. Joseph Stevens, right? Is it Joseph Parks. I said
he was doing that character later on that year too, and that character was actually pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed the Joseph Park gimmick that he did. But
that was cool. That was cool. I remember that too.
That would have been my play. Jeff Hardy got taken out backstage by Abyss, so he could go to rehab and get clean.
Yeah,
Abyss just goes on a monster heel run for a couple of months of the world title.
This was that dude. Oh, I would take my money. I would love to see him in Undertaker. Oh my God.
He had the tough music too. Had that Psycho Clown joint.
He mixed it into Hulk Hogan's WCW theme song.
Jeff
who?
When Hogan came in, they turned Abyss into a comedy act. Like they literally remixed his theme song to blend into Hulk Hogan's WCW theme song.
Yeah,
I hated it.
He was a good promo, bro. He was a good promo.
He just started cutting promos around that time. He'd only been cutting promos for a couple of years.
Good promo, man. God, I like the Biz, bro. Black Hole Slam.
Best one ever.
Mike Tenay was a genius, bro. Mike Tenay used to sell. Mike Tenay sold those moves, and he knew every last one of them.
Underrated.
He knew every last one of them, and how he sell it, man. Oh my God. All right, let's get to the conclusion here. This is the redemption, the legacy, and the future of TNA. And Jeff Jarrett in 2014, he launched Global Force Wrestling, which sucked, and Anthem Sports purchased Impact Wrestling. He changed it to Impact Wrestling. That sucked too. And then Jeff Jarrett's personal demons and and in his recovery. And in 2018, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. TNA Impact's last influence on today's wrestling landscape. To be honest with you guys, when it got down to Global Force Wrestling, I'm gonna say this, and I'm just gonna back away. When you put the belt on Alberto Del Rio, a guy who does not, I don't even see why Vince put the belt on him, because he put the world title on him too. Everywhere he goes, he gets the world. He gets the main title, but it's just a guy. And I met him personally. Stood right in front of him. Alberto Del Rio. It was him and Jinder Mahal. They were standing right next to each other. And Alberto Del Rio he's just a guy that do not connect with the crowd. He do not connect with fans. Just getting autographs. He was just standing there. He had a badass leather jacket on. It was nice. But it's just a guy. I can tell when the company goes to shits when you put Spring, when you put Spring, you're getting it all tonight, ain't you? Yeah, it just Global Force, man. Y'all talk about that, because to be honest with you, I maybe watched 2 or 3 episodes of it, and I was just like, oh, this is done. And I know Jeff was struggling with his addictions, and I know Jeff was trying to redeem himself to show that he was, this booker and for TNA, he was trying to bring some of that TNA magic over into Global, but it was not working, bro. Because like I said, I seen 2 or 3 episodes, and when you put the belt on Del Rio, you were desperate, bro. But Mark, Rock, Supreme, this is a heads up. You guys want to hit at any one of those? Live chat. Anybody out there? Because I
do.
I didn't watch it, so
it sucked, bro. It sucked. When I tell about it sucked. It sucked, man. And I think, I think Jeff was really trying to. His ego got involved as a Jarrett, and he was trying to bring that TNA magic over into this Global Force, and it just wasn't working. If you Google the Global Force belt and look at it, it's garbage.
I did watch when they changed it to Impact, though, because it used to come on because Spectrum had cable when I was down there. They had a channel that Impact used to come on.
Garbage.
I would just say, comment that it's just one of those things, like the motivation that he had when he started TNA, it was different. His dad started there, even though his dad had a falling out, right? But it didn't end well there. But the motivation was different, than when he went and made Global. He was a different man, and the ambitions that he had when he first started TNA were not the same as when he did Global, and that's probably why it failed. To be honest, right? And he should have been able to, be more mature, to take ego out of it and do it from a different lens. And he may have had some success, but he was literally just chasing the dragon, and we know what it's like when you've been hard on stuff. When you chase a dragon, you're never going to catch it, right? There's a reason why they say that.
Yeah.
And it was just, I get it though. He wanted to relive that and do it right the second time, but it was just too little, too late, and different motivations ruined it.
Right. It was terrible, bro. It was just terrible. And so, again, Dark Side. Again, I have to give these guys credit because they tell the best stories. I can't wait till The Rock relaunches the Tales of the Territory. I love that too as well. Like, holy hell! My favorite is that Portland when Billy Jack. Oh God damn! Well, he could have went on and on with that, bro. I'd have sat right there. Oh my God.
Tales from the Supreme, you're just now getting into it. When I tell you Vice is the best wrestling documentaries you'll
I
see,
agree with that,
like between Dark Side and Tales from the Territories, like it's no shortage of good stuff.
Yeah, man.
But the only thing this Dark Side left out so much of TNA's history.
Yes.
Too much. If you want, I don't know, are you looking for something you can take a deep dive into and be hooked for like an hour and some change, or you want something quick to go over the history? Because
I'm looking at now that just after watching these 3 episodes, I'm excited to go and watch the previous seasons, so then I can watch the stuff, get the the backstage look, or just kind of like an understanding of what was going on when I was watching wrestling, and kind of learn some of that stuff. And so for me, it's like I'm just like a bright-eyed kid watching this. Like I didn't know anything, so I'm just like, hey, yeah, this is like, wow, I had no idea any of this was going on. But
Dusty.
To go back some of the previous seasons and watch stuff about the era that I was watching in and be like, whoa, I had no idea that that's what was going on, and it'll give me a different light, maybe a different appreciation to the memories that I have with wrestling.
You go back and watch Dusty.
I'm gonna.
Oh my God, bro, Dusty and Magnum TA, and how that accident happened, and people was like crying. See, back then we didn't have the internet and stuff like that. Dirt sheets was, if you get a wrestling magazine, it was all the way in the back, so you got to read. they put the good stuff all the way in the last page, so that's when such and such was going on. But man, Dusty's story is the best, because I like I said, I grew up on Dusty, and Dusty was like John Cena, bro. Like people everywhere Dusty went, bro. I mean, long story short, when the Horsemen beat him up in that cage, man, people were rioted. Yeah, they tried.
They literally rioted, bro.
Horsemen, yeah. But if I think on YouTube or something like that, if you actually watched it, man, Dusty sold it so great, because when they was beating him, he was just hollering. Like Dusty used to be hollering, because they'll handcuff Dusty to the cage and just beat him. And then one time they did an angle when they was in Atlanta, and this was like on the streets, and they followed Dusty, and they beat him up in the parking lot, and he was just hollering, man. But Dusty was such a genius. He made it so real, and people were so in tune, and people loved Dusty so much. Like, I mean, oh man, never mind. I can go on and on with that joint, man. I can go on and on. But last question before we get out of here, man. And this is for anybody. If you could change one decision in TNA history, what would it be?
I would have told Jeff Jarrett not to hire Dixie Carter.
Amen to that, bro. Amen to that.
He could have found somebody other. He had no choice, though. Somebody who was. Yeah, but he could have found somebody that could have, that knew about wrestling, and went that way.
He was on a crunch for time, bro.
He was, bro. He was under the gun, because he had,
But that would be the only thing.
Dixie.
Not to hire Dixie Carter, and not to hire so many ex WCW, WWE guys.
I agree with that too.
That's the same way that's the same what's the name that AEW is in the middle of right now. Absolutely. All these WWE guys coming available. The first place they thinking they're gonna go is the AEW. Yeah. Tony Khan, don't sign no more WWE guys. You got a roster boatload of talent. Elevate the young talent that you got.
AEW has some great talent. They really do. They really do.
No, I think he learned his lesson.
Guys. He already got enough WWE guys that's in main that's got main push.
Mm-hmm. Dutch just got done talking about Giant Baba. Holy hell! Wow. Yeah, that's that. Giant Baba over in China. Giant Baba. Yeah, Giant Baba. He was on but it was him and Antonio Inoki.
Oh yeah, I know about Antonio.
Yeah, one of the biggest Japanese wrestling stars ever. But Mark, if you could change anything in TNA, any decision, what would it be?
That's an honest, tough one, but I would say I would probably not have gotten in. Probably not have gone to Health South, because if the Health South situation doesn't happen and they get funding from another source, you don't have Dixie getting involved, so you don't have to worry about Panda Energy and all that crap. And then if they go with somebody else not named Health South, they don't have to worry about losing funding 2 weeks into their program. So that would prevent so much more negative stuff that happened down the line. So that's the one thing I would change. Don't go with Health South.
I agree with that. Supreme, what would you change?
I'm not well enough versed, but I'll go with because that ruined everything, man. Dixie is just like a terrible human being.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
She got put through a table at the end, so it worked out. Bully Ray put her through a table.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny that Dixie didn't even do the interview on this show.
Yeah, she declined the interview. That's hilarious.
See, that's crazy. See that? Guilty.
She could have defended herself or something.
Yeah, I agree with that. My biggest decision will be not to hire Hogan and Bischoff. Should have never did. Well, Dixie did that, but Dixie did that, so I take that back.
Sorry, I'm sitting by a window and it's thundering and lightning. That's why I got up like that.
I feel you, bro.
Take it coming, right?
I was coming tomorrow, but I don't know, man. I don't know about TNA. I wouldn't hire like guys like Kevin Nash or anything like that. Those guys guys in there for the money. They were just in there for the money, man. They was in there for the money. And how they said how he influenced Dixie. One thing about Kevin Nash, you can call him what you want, but that son of a gun got a good eye for money, and he know how to get the big contracts.
I guess.
And he moved up. I mean, he was
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Hey, I still like Big Sexy, man. Even though he's not that great of I really liked him in WWE. That's from my era, right? WCW.
Diesel?
So
he was
Diesel, man. Yeah, man. Big Sexy Kevin Nash.
Yeah, Diesel's all right.
I like him.
Tore that quad.
Yeah. Diesel's best match was against Brett in your house. Shit was off the chain. And against Sean. Good friends, better enemies. That shit was off the chain.
I think I like the one they matchup they had at his Survival Series in DC when he pushed. Remember when he pushed? Remember before then nobody was going through the table. Remember he pushed Brett through the table and Brett went through the table. That was the first time that somebody had went through the table in WWE. And he tried to powerbomb Brett, but he couldn't get him up. And Brett caught him with a small package and beat him. But then that's when Diesel turned heel.
Yeah. Brett didn't want to take that powerbomb. He didn't want to take that.
Because he went through the table. And he couldn't remember he was selling the fact that he went through the table. At the time, nobody went through the announce table in WWE. So that was like the first time I think that happened.
Exactly. It was about the first time.
And then the next pay-per-view, that's when he powerbombed Shawn Michaels through the table. And then he left. That's when he ended up leaving.
Yeah. Big Daddy Cool, like I said, his best matches to me was In Your House. I can't remember what it was. Beware of Dog, I believe, against Brett. And Good Friends, Better Enemies against Shawn Michaels. That match was all. Shawn Michaels is the best of all time to me. I'm a Shawn Michaels guy through and through. And god damn, y'all gotta watch that, boy.
Over Kenny
guys,
over Kenny by God Omega?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Shawn Michaels? Hell yeah.
Michaels over Omega. Wow.
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels crawl so Kenny Omega can walk.
There
you think Kenny Omega get his charisma and all that from? Cocky, brash. That's
Shawn Michaels the best, bro.
Come on now. I can name 3 wrestlers before we go. That remind you that name that remind you of Shawn Michaels.
Get him.
Nick Naismith.
Yep.
Formerly known as Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
Kenny Omega. And his name, he one of your favorite wrestlers, Mark. Got a little. Oh, your boy MJF. Got a little bit of Dr. Brad, Shawn Michaels in him. He say Shawn Michaels his favorite wrestler of all time.
Damn right he is. Shawn Michaels is the truth, bro.
Shawn Michaels is awesome.
Mr.
Shawn Michaels
WrestleMania, bro.
Respectfully, I don't think Shawn Michaels got a match in his catalog except maybe WrestleMania with Brett that can live up to Okada versus Omega. I don't know, man. Okada versus Omega in New Japan,
two matches
bro.
With the
Taker
two matches with Undertaker at WrestleMania.
What?
That 2 out of 3 falls match at Dominion.
The 3 stages of hell with Triple H.
Exactly. The match against
Vince. Match with Triple H.
Again, this is coming from perspective. I saw Michael when he was with the Wizards. I didn't see Michaels when he was with the Bulls, bro. You got to remember that.
I got you.
But still, even saying that, like,
Kurt Angle at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you didn't.
Him and Jericho had a good match.
You put in the cart. You put in the cart before the horse a little bit there, buddy.
You see,
I saw
him
in the
2000s.
Yeah, the one in the 2000s. I saw his run, but I don't know if I can put him over Omega, bro. Kenny Omega in New Japan was.
Yeah, he beat
a lot of Eddie was
top guys in New Japan.
Yeah,
but Shawn Michaels made
I
money.
may not know a lot
of
the new guys.
Yeah, I know.
I may not know a lot of the new guys, but to me, they're like, I don't know, man. Eddie Guerrero, frog splash from across the freaking ring.
Oh hell yeah!
Macho Man Randy Savage, elbow drop from across.
Oh, come on, bro. Macho.
There's some other guys that
Macho before Ricky Steamboat.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of guys that I would put up there.
Ricky Steamboat, bro. Ricky Steamboat was one of the most
biggest
baby faces, bro.
And I like Eddie so much. I might put a tie between Eddie and.
All right, so
Omega
I know
Omega and
but I just
top 10 though.
Biggest baby face, y'all. Real quick, biggest baby face ever to y'all in professional
Jeff Hardy.
Ever?
Biggest baby face of all time?
Yeah. He said Jeff Hardy.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with the man, the icon, Sting. Biggest baby face of all time.
Holy hell, he was over.
I will second that. Yeah, man, Sting was incredible.
I'm going Dusty.
So long.
No matter if he was Joker Sting or if he was Beach Blonde Sting or Crow Sting, he was over with the fans, no matter what.
Ricky Steamboat was one of the big baby faces too, but I'm going with Dusty, bro. I'm going with
Dusty. Dusty good.
Yeah.
He up there of all time, if you want to say that. Yeah.
When he made that promo with Flair, when he reached
hard times.
Oh my God, that hard time. Whoa!
Even 2026, I still feel that promo.
Oh, I got goosebumps. Boy, bro. I'm telling you,
of a plumber.
Dusty, the son of a plumber, baby. I've been like that, Daddy. You know, man, Dusty Dusty to me is Dusty, JYD, and Hulk Hogan.
R.I.P. to JYD.
Hulk was a
I say this disrespectfully,
bro.
The Rock had his moments.
Ever put him in a babyface category ever.
Hogan
will never ever be able to be called.
I know it, but Hogan was
hell no, bro.
He was like that.
He
bro.
was though.
I'll root for the Chiefs before I do that, bro.
I understand, bro. I feel the same way you feel, bro. But Hogan was like that, bro. He was.
Look at all the people he stabbed in the back to get there.
Yeah, but I mean, goddamn.
And then screwed the whole wrestling industry just so he could.
Yeah, but in the prime, in his prime as Hulkamania, man, Hulkamania
was crazy.
He was wrestling.
Hell yeah!
If you knew the negative,
I know he was not a good guy. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Backstage, he was a heel, but the way that he was presented, Hulkamania, man, that era was
red and yellow was
different, man.
He was
the only person
hero, bro,
who was not a homegrown talent that Vince actually pushed. The only one, bro. It's crazy. Hogan was the only one that came from the outside that Vince pushed into a star. He ain't do that with nobody else, man.
Hogan had it all, man. He had the look. He wasn't the best in the ring, but he had the look. He had the promo,
the attitude.
Yeah.
You right
about that. Everybody had. Hogan ain't get pushed right away. If you look at his documentary, he had a few like curtain jerker matches before he got pushed. He didn't really get pushed until after the Rocky movie.
Cena was his only homegrown.
Hey, Cena's a heck of a
Mark
face
said
too.
that Hogan was the one that he didn't that wasn't homegrown that got pushed to the top. But Hogan,
I take that back.
Hogan had his faults before he got in the got pushed. Because he was a heel in WWE before he got.
He was a heel. Yeah,
that's my fault, Rock. I misspoke. He was the first because Stone Cold also did it too. I forgot about Stone Cold. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Homegrown will be Cena. Cena, the biggest person he pushed homegrown. Brett came from Stampede. Sean came from
AWA.
AWA.
So did Hogan, Mean Gene. I mean, Vince got everybody.
Him and Brock. It would be him, Brock, and Randy Orton there because they was all in OVW.
But Cena was the
OVW 4.
Yeah, OVW 4.
Yeah, exactly. OVW 4 was Batista, Brock, Cena, and Randy Orton.
Yeah, but Cena, of course, Cena was the biggest. So, but Dusty, to me, Dusty was Dusty was just, he was like, man, what? he was like that, bro. Dusty was that dude. Yeah. I'm sorry, Dad. I just love me some Dusty Rhodes. I love Dusty Rhodes. I love everything he do, Daddy. I love it. I love it all.
I ain't even gonna be mad because I talk with a list, so I ain't gonna be mad.
When I went with Vince, when he called me down to WWF, when I went down to the WWF, it was me and Sweet Sapphire. American Dream.
I had on the polka dot.
Boy, what you talking about, boy? Dusty was that dude, bro.
All right,
let me get out of here.
With King Macho.
Word. Oh, man, you got to love professional wrestling. Let's get out of here. I got to get these fellas and us. We got to get to work. We got to get to work tomorrow. But again, man, we thank you guys. I can talk wrestling all day long and twice on Sunday. Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, man, that's going to do it for us tonight, man. We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Real Sports Live Wire. If you had much fun as we did tonight, man, do us a favor, smash that like button for us, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that, turn on that bell for all notifications so you won't miss another show. Conversation don't stop here, man. This Saturday, man, we got a double header coming your way, man. Hopefully at 4 p.m. Eastern, man. We're gonna be bringing back some men talk. Barbershop is no more. I sold it. I sold the name. So it'll be the Real Sports Kings Talk. Kings Talk, baby. That's what we do. So the King Talk, man, that's where fellas will tackle real life topics and real conversation, real perspectives, man, that every man can, relate to. Something that I need. I need a refresh on some men stuff for real. Already taken care of. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you. All right, Sam Wilt. Don't forget to subscribe. Sam Wilt. Don't forget I can't even talk today. But anyway, then at 7 p.m., man, Eastern, man, it's time for the Real Sports Talk Show, man. We'll break down the hottest stories happening across the sports world. And then we're stepping into one of the fiercest divisions in football. That's right. This Saturday coming up, we will be talking about the NFC East. We're going to make our predictions on who wins the division. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, this is a debate you are going to not want to miss. It is going to be absolute chaos. We're going to have Eagle fans, Cowboy fans, Commander fans, and Giant fans. Everybody's invited, man. Somebody feeling going to get hurt. Saturday, I already know it's going to happen. It's going to happen, man. So make sure you're back here Saturday. 2 loaded shows, 1 incredible community. You do not want to miss it. AFC North is the toughest. We getting there. We're going to get there. We're going to get on there. All right. 9 p.m. Eastern time over here. We're going to get out of here. We all got to get to work. Everybody, man, thank you again, man, on behalf of everyone. I'm talking about Rockstar Rock, my main man, Latino Heat Supreme, and the 2025 Root of Sports Podcast MVP, Mr. Young Mark. Everybody around the world, y'all know my saying, please be safe and stay safe. And that's in order.